If you've been sent to this video, it means your D&D group loves playing with you and would want to continue playing with you, but you need to show them the same love. Let's not beat around the bush. You need to learn how your shit works so that the rest of the table doesn't have to sit around wasting time while you figure out what you can or cannot do for every single action. You need to learn how your abilities, spells, weapons, etc. work. That being said, there are certain caveats, situational responses, and expectations that need to be considered. We are, ideally, humans sitting around the table playing D&D, so all the complexities of social interactions need to be accounted for. Right away, we have set ourselves with an impossible task.
That's impossible.
Yeah, that. We can never account for all the edge cases that can show up from this scenario, but here are the basics. First, if you are a new player and you haven't even played 10 sessions yet as the new character that you have made up, then whoever sent you here, tell them to go screw. They need to be patient. This is an incredibly complex set of rules. 3rd edition players will laugh at me now. Yes, I get it, but there's no denying that there's an incredibly steep learning curve to all of these rules. And it is the job of the other players and the DM, well, by other players I mean the more experienced players and the DM, to make the learning process fun. However, if you are still playing with them, it usually means they're doing a good job. Second, you might be dyslexic, or you might have ADD or ADHD. I'm not going to pretend that I know the solution to this, but I believe that a solution can be found through proper communication. Although, it might mean that this is just not the right group for you. It's not their fault, it's not your fault. It's just an unassailable problem that you find yourself against. I wanted to introduce D&D to one of my very good friends, ex-girlfriend. She, I think, suffered from ADHD, and as a result, we had decided to shorten our sessions down to 2-hour sessions. However, after the first session, she told me that she can only concentrate or play for 1 hour at a time. I thought about it and I figured out that if I were to run 1-hour sessions, I will not be excited about it. I will not be looking forward to it. And if I'm not excited to run, then no one will have fun playing. So I had to say no. She had to drop out. It sounds really harsh, but let's not kid ourselves. This is always a possibility. There's always a possibility that this is not the right group for you. Third, you might be a veteran player, but this might be the first time you're playing this class or this edition. There's usually a transition/learning curve. See the point earlier, and you deserve some patience. Tell them that. Tell them like, hey, I'm trying. Just be patient with me for however long you think you will need. They will understand. If not, it's their fault. But if you have been playing this character for months and you still don't know what your 2-hit bonus is, then you are letting everyone down. We are all adults with busy lives and we are trying to make time to do this thing that we really enjoy, and you don't even care enough to learn how your own shit works, then that's incredibly disrespectful to everyone else. You're wasting everyone's precious time. I cannot tell you what system will work for you, and yes, it is your responsibility to figure out what will work for you. Maybe write with font size 72 that your great axe does 1d12 damage, or that you write a huge C next to your concentration spell so that you remember to make those checks, or get similar colored dice for your sneak attack damage. Whatever, anything might work, but it is important that you find what it is and then do what needs to be done. Now, you may ask, why do you care? It's just a game. Who cares? Well, you might be wrong about that expectation. Yes, this is a make-believe game in a make-believe world, but your DM has put in a lot of work to prepare for this session. Show them the respect that they deserve by at least preparing your correct character, knowing what you are supposed to do, and being ready on your turn. Very simple. Your fellow players may have highly developed ideas of what their characters are. They might have thought a lot about their character arc and things like backstories and personalities. Show them some respect. If this all sounds too intense and you're thinking that, okay, we take ourselves too seriously, you are correct. This is a hobby, but this is a hobby that many of us take very seriously. And with anything that anyone takes seriously, it's very hard for them to tolerate blatant disrespect towards the thing that they love. I think it's perfectly okay for you, before the start of a campaign, ask your fellow players and DM that, hey, how serious are you about this game? And if the answer is, oh, I have written a 20-page backstory for my character, or if your DM says that, oh, there are 333 days a year in this world, and each one of those days is named after different constellations of the 11 neighboring solar systems, well, now you know that they're very serious about the game. If you want a casual game where you just show up, hang out, have a good time, roll some dice, kill some monsters, then perhaps this is not the game for you. There is nothing wrong with wanting that. There's nothing wrong with that style of play. There are hundreds of tables all over the world who play with exactly that level of expectation. It's not bad. Their fun is not wrong. Our game style is not more virtuous than theirs. It's just different. It's just a misalignment of expectations. In conclusion, you don't need to do any of this. You're not obligated to do any of this. You can back out anytime without any hard feelings. Just make sure that you communicate the reason properly. But if you continue to play the game, then you are obligated to take the game at the same level of seriousness, or at least 75% of it. Trust me, they understand. They will compensate for the other 25%. As soon as they see the effort, they will know. And then they are obligated to make sure that you have fun playing D&D with them. I hope you are never directed to this video, and if you are, I hope I have presented a certain point of view, a certain style of gaming, a certain level of expectation, without sounding like an obnoxious prick, which I think I am really towing the line there. Now, the decision is yours. What's fun for you? Choose that and have a lot of fun. That's it, that's the video. By the way, if you are subscribed and you aren't getting a notification when a new video is up, and YouTube tells me that apparently many of you aren't, it's because you have to go hit the tiny little bell icon down in the bottom right. That's what sets the notification alert, and for reasons best known to themselves, YouTube doesn't tell you that. So, I am. Thank you for watching. Take it easy and have fun playing D&D.